Hey, yo, it's Jeremy Mansfield here with another YouTube video. Um, this is kind of my impression on Money in the Bank WWE. Obviously, it happened on Sunday. Um, if I were to do it like 2 weeks from now, people would be like, yo! Or, yeah, 2 weeks from now, like until the next pair, people would be like, yo! That was like a month ago. It's time to get ready for the new pay per view. I get it. Get it. I'd be too late. A lot of people do like their reaction like the day after, like the day of Raw, the next day. Um, so I get it. So I wanted to make it like a few days later, because obviously with the whole situation of uh, of life that I have. So that being said, for me, it was cool that they had the Money in the Bank at like the ladder match at the headquarters, which was cool and everything. Obviously, they could have added a little bit more action to the ladder match, but overall, I'm gonna go like match by match um, of my impression on it, and then I'll talk to the ladder match afterwards and overall. Um, Obviously, I just turned it on with the WWE Network to watch it. I didn't watch the pre-show. Obviously, the pre-show it gives a rundown of all the matches and stuff like that, and then what they expect what will happen. Obviously, most of them probably know what's going to happen, but in order to give the fans like what they feel like is going to happen, uh, give them the boost and whatnot to uh, promote like what's going to happen. Not like promote what's going to happen, but like to promote like who they favor towards going to the match. Um, so um, Obviously, with the kickoff show, I didn't see the Hardy and Cesaro. Obviously, it's been nice that they've been pushing Hardy, giving him a second chance, because obviously he's been well known with drug and alcohol addiction and stuff like that, and he's been going to rehab and stuff like that, and he's been trying to fix himself, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Uh, so at least he's been trying to do that, and then he's also been trying to push, like maybe get a championship. Uh, I it obviously like gimmick wise storyline, it probably won't happen anytime soon. But that's what he is trying to get at least one more long run, and so he's thanking WWE to give him a second chance and that he can prove himself, be the best star that he can be, and then just try to get a championship maybe before his time is up in his career or whenever, because uh, when you do those type of actions or something like that, a lot of it you don't really get second chances. You're just like you're kind of it's like tempting to go back because you've dealt with the issue for so long and stuff like that. But other than that, let's get back onto the Money in the Bank. First match being the SmackDown Tag Team Championships with the Forgotten Sons, the New Day, Miz and Morrison, and the Lucha Party. With me, it was interesting that Lucha Party was involved with it. Normally, they're not a tag team that's normally well known, because I think most they're on 205 Live, and so they don't get like any promotion anywhere else. Um, if they're even on 205 Live, I know on like WWE 2K19, they're literally on 205 Live, and that's their like platform. But overall, in general, it's nice to see a new tag team coming around, instead of the same old of maybe Miz and Morrison and a New Day. Obviously, they added Forgotten Sons, which is nice, coming up from NXT, or yeah, it would have to be from NXT to the SmackDown uh, promotion of the brand WWE. And so that was nice to see that. Um, Going in. Obviously, I didn't expect New Day to keep the titles. I was hoping that Miz and Morrison would fight their way back. That's like my opinion, because storyline wise, that's what I wanted. Because, you know, sometimes it's good like to have like the New Day with the titles and everything. Like obviously they work for it, they do it, obviously storyline and everything. But it's like Miz and Morrison didn't really have that long of a run, so it's like for them to have it cut short is just kind of bumming because then it just says something. Maybe they might break up. Who knows? Overall, so I was just kind of bummed that Miz and Morrison didn't get it back. Obviously, like their heels and everything, and people may not like him or whatnot, but overall, in general, like for his character, yeah, it may seem like it's annoying, but he does a good job at it. It's not like, oh, it's annoying because he's just annoying overall. It's just kind of a annoying annoyingness of him being a heel and what he does, but it's so good. To my perspective, like if I were to meet him in person, he's probably a nice person. He has a wonderful family, especially when it comes to Ms. and Mrs. And so, yeah, it seems like he's a nice guy and everything. But overall, in general, going into the next match, which was the R-Truth and Bobby Lashley, um, uh, I really wasn't. I thought it was going to be R-Truth and MVP because that's what he was coming out. But obviously, I wasn't really in tune of what was happening because I didn't watch the Raw before or the SmackDown before. Maybe little bits and pieces of it, and so I wasn't expecting what was going to happen. Obviously, I've been noticing like the big titles and stuff like that, like with Drew McIntyre, uh, Braun Strowman, Bailey, and stuff like that. But I was not like with the gimmick of Bobby Lashley and R-Truth. So that was just something different. And then the next match was Bailey. I was not thinking Bailey was going to win, but it wasn't going to be a surprise that she would win because she had Sasha Banks. And so with the whole, I thought Tamina would fight her way back because she is a good superstar overall. And obviously, I have never seen Tamina with a championship, so it'd have been nice to have a change. But um, Bailey won it. So there's nothing really I can say there. And yeah. Uh, the next one, which was the Universal Championship, which was Bray and Braun. Now, as long as the match lasted, I was just. I thought Bray would come out as the Fiend, but he didn't. And overall, that's what I've wanted. But he only came out as like the Firefly Funhouse dude for his character, his gimmick, which was obviously like what he was trying to do because he was trying to promote Braun to come back, create the duo, or try to create the duo of like the Wyatt family. Or whatever kind of function that they would create. But obviously, he did not join. He wore the mask, and obviously, he just beat him. He still has the Universal Championship, which I thought was interesting. Uh, but I knew that Bray was not going to win it. I feel like he wasn't going to win it, but it's just the fact of what happened, which was interesting, of him wearing the mask and them acting like he was going to join, and then he just backfired, and then he was like, "Yo, I have created all this success on my own." He didn't need Bray Wyatt, which was exactly true because gimmick storyline wise, he just didn't need Bray Wyatt. So he's like, "Why join Bray Wyatt?" And if you were to join Bray Wyatt, maybe it would have gone down south. So obviously, there's like multiple like storylines you could think of. Oh, if he did. Oh, if he didn't. Yeah, there's so many things you could think about that. The next match, Drew and Seth. I wasn't thinking that Seth was going to get it. I 100% knew that Drew was going to win it because of the fact of he's just claymoring everybody. He's just overpowering everybody. He's just showing his strength, especially facing the Big Show and beating him and beating Brock Lesnar. I knew he was going to have a title reign for a while after the WrestleMania win because he's just character has just overpowered and just shown his aggression, especially when it came to Andrade. Yeah, he had like little snippets of like being injured the show after on Raw and stuff like that. But he just showed that I'm a monster, like so to speak. Like obviously he's not like Bray Wyatt monster, but he's like I am a beast and I'm going to power through everybody who's trying to get in my way of me and the Universal Championship, and that's what he's done. He's beaten Andrade. He's beaten so far Andrade and Seth and Big Show and everybody that's been trying to get a feud with him. So it just shows that he's going to have this title reign for a while. And then obviously the ladder match, the men and women. It was cool to have the creative at the headquarters. That was cool. But the fact of the matter is that it didn't really last long. It lasted for like a decent amount of time, but obviously like well known for what Money in the Bank is throwing off ladders, crashing into ladders, breaking ladders, and all that other stuff. It didn't happen. Like literally, maybe one person got kicked off when it came to Asuka kicking off Baron Corbin, and then Baron Corbin and Otis like pulling people off like AJ Styles and Aleister Black. So it wasn't really much action to it. So it's like I was expecting more. Like it was like done so quickly as soon as they got up to the roof. Like everything was inside the building, which obviously it kind of sucks that everything was like inside the building as soon as it came to the roof. Like barely no other superstars were on top of the roof. Like where did Daniel Bryan go? Like he was involved. He didn't go to the rooftop. AJ Styles made it to the rooftop, and I think he got like kicked off, and then he was like off to the side. And then obviously Aleister Black and Rey Mysterio got thrown off the roof, so to speak, of the way that they filmed it. Um, and obviously, like porters and reporters and everything have been talking about like they threw him off on the south spot of the roof or whatnot. So obviously this has been like later of everyone's have like read into this stuff and everything. Um, so yeah, I just didn't think it was gonna land like so uh quick because it was like a 2.5 hour uh pay-per-view. Normally it's like 4 hours. Like um it was just kind of bumming to have it end so quickly, start at 6 and end at 8:30, but obviously it shows that the fans are the big part of everything when it comes to pay-per-views, when it comes to shows, because you may run out ideas or people start running out of steam because they all go for the audience driven, which is what this business is. And so, obviously, I understand with you may lose creativeness, you may lose all that stuff because all you're doing it is for a camera and you're looking at nobody. And all you're doing is your adrenaline rush, and everything is based off of you see um, fans around you and you play your role, whether it be a healer, face, and you always look for like maybe a certain angle or whatnot for uh, fans to come out and support them and do all that stuff. And especially what was nice is that Nia Jax is now back. So instead of having, obviously, like you have the same talent come in and out, but it's like now since you have an additional piece, you can be more creative. Where if you had the same like people, you may run out of ideas. Sorry, can't talk. But overall, in general, like the fact of the matter is, it was so short. Like it just bums me out and stuff. And so overall, in general, I was hoping for a better pay-per-view, so to speak, but it was a good one though. I'm not saying like just because it was short it was bad. Like the content that they had was good. I just wish it was longer, but obviously it would be so longer if there was more um, audience than there is not. So obviously this is my video of my reaction to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view that happened this past Sunday. Um, Asuka and Otis won it, but obviously since people may have saw Raw the next day, Asuka is now the champ. With Becky now being pregnant, so she is going to be gone for a long while, which will be interesting to see what they can do with now Becky being gone. So hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you have a good day and peace out.